Hi, my name is Veronica Sewell, and I am the youngest daughter of Elyas Cottrell and Alma Richmond. Today is February the 21st, 2020. Back in 2017, I was thinking about my mom and wanting to have something that I could always remember her by. And she and I was talking about a documentary kind of her life. And we started videotaping her. And it seemed like each day I learned more and more about her. At the end of the video, it was such a treasure because we talked about all kind of things. We laughed together on it. And even afterwards, after reviewing it, I laughed, I smiled, I cried. But I decided to share the video with the family connection because my mother talked about different family members. So while you're viewing it, keep in mind that there were some bloops and blunders. Telephone was ringing. My mother decided to change course and talk about different things, and some things she even repeated, I guess because she thought it was important. And we started in 2017, but at the end we jumped to her 102nd birthday. In 2017 she was 100 years old, and we shared her 102nd birthday together. She had a party and she really enjoyed that day. So I hope you enjoy it, and thanks. Actually, the video was so long that I had to make 3 parts. So this is part 1 of 3. Hope you enjoy it. Today is October the 13th, 2017, and I'm interviewing my lovely mother, Alma Sawyer Richmond. Today she's gonna tell us about her grandparents on her mother's side, what she heard about them through other people. So just tell me their name and then talk to me.
Well, my mother's father was named George Fulton, and his wife was named Mary. I don't know if she had a middle name or not, but I think she was Mary Banner, with her master's or whoever's last name. Now, let's see, out of those children, there's about nine children. And Grandpa was a child during the slavery. He didn't have to go out in the field and work. They said they would he said, I said, Grandpa, what did you have to do? He said, well, they'd take me down to the bottom where the corn and everything was at and sit me on a stump like it, and I had to watch that, keep the crows out of the field. And so he must have been very small. And then he said he'd be playing or getting mischief or something. And when they get ready to spank him, they take him, put him between their legs and spank him, and he'd turn his head and bite him. And said, oh, they'd have a fit. And said his mother said, George, you better stop that, because they're going to put you in their pocket. And he said, what you talking about, putting me in my pocket? She said, they're going to sell you and put the money in the pocket and send you down south. Well, she didn't know she's already down south. But anyway, I just couldn't understand that. But I never asked him what was his mother's name. Nothing about his mother. But I know she didn't work in the field or nothing. And I knew that they wouldn't sell him or nothing, because he said he had their blood. That's what I couldn't understand.
Now finish telling me about, what did you find out about your grandfather?
Well, the only way we could find out anything would be asking questions, And he'd always be, he had all of this land he bought after slavery. I don't know if where, but that was before I was born. He owned all this land. And so
was the land the slave land that he was a slave on?
Yeah, the slave land, the one that he was brought up on lived on, and all of us was raised, Papa and all of them bought land from him.
Okay, so he bought everything, all the slave land except for the slave house.
The house.
And you was telling me about the Campbell cigarette.
The factory part was that was around where the house was at.
Okay.
And so when they sold that was the Fultons, where the Camel cigarette started. Then they sold it to R.J. Reynolds. That was in Winston-Salem. They had it to Winston-Salem. Otherwise, the factory would have been there in Mount Airy. But Winston-Salem is about 30 miles from Mount Airy. But I guess they could work, but they didn't have car work and go backwards and forth.
Okay, so what else did you know about your grandfather?
That was it.
Okay, did you know that he was, you was telling me that when people in his family died.
Oh, that was just like when the white folks, the white people, they would always come and get Grandpa having to come to the funeral. But I remember one time they was all dressed up in their blue serge suits.
Who was they?
Uncle Vince, Papa, and Grandpa. And I said, where are they going? And they said, oh, they're waiting for the Fultons come together. They're going to take them to the funeral. So that was that. And he didn't go out all that. So he must have been close kin to him, I don't know how close or what.
What about the people in the community respected him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what did they ask about him?
Oh, just like when they buy land, people had so much land they lived far apart. Some lived in Virginia, further south down, they coming back this way. We lived close to the mountains. And they would ask Grandpa about things, and he acted like he'd been to school or nothing. But he would be sure to tell them to have air property, and that's what, just how to act. So I guess that his old people would have told him what to do. I don't know.
Didn't they give him advice? You said he gave the black people advice on how to farm.
That's what I told you, to how to buy and sell.
Oh, okay, buy and sell.
And then he would hire people. He'd have land people working, and he would pay them. Then he had sharecroppers. He had 2 houses not rented out, but they lived there. And they lived so long, and then you make so much, and in the fall of the year, but I guess when they sell the tobacco, he would get maybe a third or fourth, because they lived on the land. That was good, and they had their own garden and everything. And then you get used to the family, then they'd move on to something. Then another family would move in, because I remember the Densons, the Joyces, and Georges, and that was 1, 2, 3 families. Oh yeah, and the Joyces. The Joyces, Mr. Joyce, he died. They lived there first, and I was little. And then Mr. Reverend Jerry George, that was the name George. They moved there. She had 2, they said there, she had sharecroppers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the way he would do, and then he would have money all the time. Then the people would be working in the field. He'd come to the field with a big old peck bucket and a dipper with lemonade to give them a drink of water.
So that's how he made his money.
Yeah.
That's how he made his money.
He had money he had 2 long pocketbooks, one on his side and one on his side. Not purse, he didn't go down in his pocket. I'd never seen him in blue jeans. He wear corduroy pants and galaxies.
What's galaxies?
Yeah, suspenders.
Oh, suspenders.
And sleeve holders.
What did he look like?
He looked like those white folks down south. I mean, he's kind of short, very demanding. He wanted to be something like a slave master.
Probably because he was raised by a slave master.
So that's when, if anybody would come for a job, he'd be having a tryout. You had to prove to him what you could do. Because this man, he came from, I don't know where, but he wanted a job. And so
Wasn't he a white guy?
Black.
Oh, he was black. Okay.
And he, I think it was a sycamore tree. I think that's the one that's so tough you can't hardly cut. So he said, well, you cut that tree down, let me see you do that. And that was a hot summertime. So this young guy, he cut the tree down. You know, it taken some time, but he could, and it was green. It was green, that made it that much tougher. And he hired him. So after Sandy Clark, it was his name, Sandy Clark.
Sandy or Zanny?
Zandy.
Zandy.
Oh, I like to be Zandy. And after he stayed there too. He lived at the house. Grandpa had a big house. Zandy was come from a nice family, so Grandpa sold him some land.
Oh.
So his mother and father moved to Mount Airy. I don't know, Eric.
How much land did he buy originally?
Now that I don't know.
Okay.
And then Mr. Clark had.
Tell us about Mr. Clark. Who is he?
He was one that Zandy's father, mother, and he had 3 sisters.
Mr. Clark had 3 sisters?
Mr. Clark's children.
Oh, Mr. Okay.
I said Mr. Clark and Miss Clark and his children.
Oh, okay.
And they lived there. Then they farmed on the land.
I got
It
you.
was a lot of land, so I don't know how much it was. Because Grandpa had bought, they said 75 acres of land in the beginning.
Okay, so in the beginning it was 75 acres. Who did he, besides those people, who else did he sell the land to? Did he sell land to your mother and father?
My mother and father.
And who else did he sell?
And he sold to my Uncle Vince and his family.
Okay.
And I know to Mr. and Mrs. Clark. And I think to Mr. Tom Clark, them too. Looked like they had maybe about 3 acres of land, but they didn't have no farming land. They had mostly garden. You know, the gardening thing, because he worked at Flat Rock.
So your grandfather's primary crop was tobacco.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me how you twine tobacco. You want to take a break and then you can come back and tell me how you twine tobacco? Okay, so you always talked about twining tobacco. So tell me, how was that process? How do you do that?
Well, now that's a long story.
Okay.
Just like in the beginning, you have a seed, ain't much bigger than mustard seed.
Okay.
You have a plant bed. They call it a plant bed. It's a land about, it's not an acre. It's what do you call like you build a house on.
Okay.
So that's much land. Then you pile all this wood and stuff on there, and brush and all of that. Then you have a fire. People like to come to see you sit on fire. People
Like a bonfire.
Something like a bonfire.
Okay.
They come and see if we're going to have the fire. The plant bed's going to be on fire.
Okay.
And the people would come and sit on fire, and the fire would be burning and everything.
Would they bring food? Would they just come to watch?
Watch.
Okay.
And then Mr. Joyce, he would put his shoes off and show us how he could run through the fire cold, barefoot, and wouldn't burn. And that was something people, ooh, they would be all excited, you know. And then after that burn, that'd make the land rich.
Oh.
Now you dig it up, you plow it, you plant your seed. Then the seeds come up, they go by a calendar almanac. And then you pull the plants up. Then you plant them. Now the tobacco's growing. Now that you get to take the leaves, at the other side, you start from the bottom taking the leaves.
Go ahead. I was saying, look into the camera. So
Taking the leaves off, and then they have a sled. A sled to put the leaves in. The horse have to go through the field and bring the tobacco to the barn. Everybody's so happy. They're having a good time now. Everybody's entertained. Got people happy, you know.
Okay.
And then, you take 3 leaves and hold it like this, like that. And then the person that's twining.
What's twining?
They reach and get it like that. You're going to break them.
What's twining? Twining is just going around.
You're getting it to crochet it on the stick. The stick is like this, and they call it a horse. Has a thing, you hold it like this, and stick across here. You put the thread, you got your thread. Then you pick up, you twist it and stick it up there. One on one side, on the other, all the way to the end. And then you say, stick off. Somebody's there to take the stick off and lay it down. Because don't break no leaves. And then one is on one side, one's on the other side. Then the twine will stand up and twist that thread, going just like that. Then just a stick off, bring some more leaves. And in the morning, it's so much dew, you got the grass sacks across your lips so it won't be wet. And well, up in the day, it gets hot and everything. And then after you twine this tobacco log, you got it all stacked up. You have a tobacco bun. It's made out of loaves, and it has let's see, 1, 2, 5. They call it 5 rooms. You got to go up and stick. Put it in the bun.
Are they hanging?
It's hanging. The leaves are hanging down. So you don't break no leaves because you can't sell it. You can't tie it up and sell it.
Oh.
So then you put this flue. Got these 2 flues out here.
A flute.
Flue. And this pipes go around, and inside they got a thing for the temperature to gauge how much heat. You start it off low and go up. And then they go and watch it. They say all night. Keeping it, putting fire, cocoa, and then people.
About how many leaves when they fix this house? I mean, put this. You said it was a 5-story house, barn. Okay, about approximately how many leaves you think might be in there? 200 or?
Oh, but on the stick, that one stick.
It's 3.
You 3 leaves at a time.
Right.
And then your stick is almost compared to you.
So each stick is probably
about 40 things.
Oh, okay. So each stick is about you said from where I am to you is about 2 feet. So the stick is about 2 feet, like a yard stick.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's about a yard long, just like you said.
Okay, about a yard long.
And then after they got it all stacked up, then they come in. They had put somebody got to get way up in there and come down and put my brother used to do that. And I'd be so scared he's going to fall. And fix the bun. It takes about 2 days to fill 1 bun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they got chopping and eat. You got this.
So he had kids to help him do that, or was it just neighbors came and helped?
No, your workers.
The workers, yeah, workers. Okay.
And just like now, Papa didn't have no checkups.
Papa meaning your father?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
when he put his in with that Mary would always twine. She could twine a bun of tobacco. They say just about in a day if you could hand it to her.
Oh, that's your sister. Okay.
My sister, because she left there when she was 16 though. And anyway, it'll be George, Mary, Minnie, me, and maybe Uncle Early and Papa. Some is in the field getting the leaves down. The sled is going through with the horse picking up somebody two for that. So it's about 15 or 20 working. Mm-hmm. And then you stop at 12 o'clock and go eat. They have a big dinner, so to me never. And he works about 5 o'clock. And then the next day you do the same thing. And then they start chewing at the back. People have budgets. People. That would be the best time of the year to play. Mm-hmm. And people would come and stay all night, just stay all night at the barn. They'd have pellets and something. I wasn't too far from my house, and we could stay all night up there with Papa. And we thought that was something great, And then Mr. Tom Clark and Mr. Ned Johnson and everybody, they come in and they'd be talking about the Indians and what all they could see and everything.
What about the Indians?
Huh?
What about the Indians?
Oh, well, they said the white folks couldn't run the Indians from down there. And Papa said, when we walk and feel these hot things pass, he said, that's the Indian spirit. Mm. We said, we felt we got it up there by the ranch. We felt it. He said, that was the Indians dancing for y'all. And was real nice.
Okay, so I want to get a little clarity on twining. You said that they take 3 leaves, sticking straight up, together.
Yeah.
Then they take the twine and tie it around the stem.
That's right.
Okay.
Loop
Loop it around the stem so they're together.
And then then you put it on the stick.
Then you take it and you put it on a stick. One side of a stick, twine. Then they take 3 more, do it around the stem, put that on the other side of the stem.
That's right.
Until they have about a 2 foot long or a stick.
Yeah, over a yard.
Over a yard. And then once they get to the end of this stick, they say, stick off.
Stick off.
Stick off. And then they go to the next one. So then they cure the tobacco in the house there, in that 5-story house.
Barn.
After it's cured, what do they do with it?
Well, then they take it to the cellar there to keep it, so it won't be too dry.
They take it to the cellar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then people sort it, rightly, but now they don't do that, they tell me. But at that time, the real bright leaves, the dark leaves, they have them say, you tie up, I think it was 12 leaves, and you take it and you tie it together, and you take that down. You have a pile about this high.
Okay.
Pile of there be 3 piles, the light, medium, and that. And then they would take it to the market.
Okay.
And then they'd sell it. They go, how much are they bidding? How much they bid. And just like, but the last year, that was in 1931, I think, when Grandpa carried his to town. And he said, 35 cents as high as we go, 35 cents a pound. So my grandfather said, not me. They ain't selling me no 35 cents a pound. I take it back and throw it out in the field before I sell it for 35 cents. So all we done went through and go 35 cents.
So I wonder how much that he normally gets for it. How much did he normally get for it?
I think they'll get at least $1 or something a pound.
Okay, and so probably, since you said 1931, now we're in Depression time.
That's during the Depression.
And that's when everything...
Right. Who was president before Roosevelt? Then when Roosevelt came in, a lot of people were lucky. He saved a lot of farms after that.
Okay.
But if he'd come in one year, just 1 year, Grandpa wouldn't have lost his.
Okay.
That's terrible. But anyway.
So he decided that I'm not going to sell mine for 35 cents. I'll go and throw it on my land.
And that's what he did.
Okay, and so he lost a lot after that. He lost his land.
Well, he couldn't pay the mortgage off. He got the money to buy the fertilizer at the beginning.
Right.
Then you sell your tobacco. The first load, you have enough money to pay for that.
Okay.
And have money left too. Now he wasn't going to do that and have nothing. So he just threw it away. The next year he ordered more fertilizer, and that he couldn't sell it. He couldn't make it. So the bank.
Well, okay, so that second year that he bought fertilizer, President Roosevelt was in the office. He didn't save his land.
He couldn't save it then.
Why?
Because he done messed up the first year.
Okay.
He didn't have no money.
Okay.
And so I don't know how the president saved those people's land.
Okay.
But that's what they tell me. He saved a lot of people.
Okay, so now we're in the second year. He goes to the bank. He gets the money. And still, they don't want to give him the money.
That's what I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember if he went back and got more money, or did he give up, or what.
Okay.
But all I know, that was the year that everything was, nobody had nothing, we didn't have no money. It was terrible. And I guess
About how old were you?
That was in 19 and
You said 31. So you was about 15 years old.
I was born 1916, count for yourself.
Okay.
And
So
that was a terrible depression. The depression started around 1929.
okay.
29, 30, 31, 32. 33 when the Papusa cut in was in, he got in 33, I think.
So so what all did he lose?
He lost his home, he lost his horses, his cows, all his work too, everything. I guess his mortgage to the bank. The bank had the deed and the things to his land.
Okay.
So one of his white cousins, nephews or whatever.
Another descendant. So George Fulton was a descendant of the Fulton slaves.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're saying one of his cousins, because of the slavery, did what?
He went to the land. Keep the land getting away from the Fulton part.
Okay.
He takes and buys all the mortgages up.
His name was Charlie Fulton.
Charlie.
Okay. And so he bought
and Grandpa begged him to buy when they were selling the stuff, Charlie was selling things. My grandfather said, but you buy the horses. And he said, I don't need no horses. I'm not no farmer, because he had the car business.
Okay.
He sold all the tools, all the everything. And he held on to the land.
Okay.
But he sold everything that was on the land.
So where did your grandfather live if he lost his house? Where did he live?
He lived with his son.
Which one?
Uncle Vince.
So he moved in with Uncle Wentz.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So one of your cousins wrote a paper about twine and tobacco. Who was that? Which cousin wrote the paper for school?
To what?
You said...
yeah, when his granddaughter, Uncle Vince's daughter, came to but they first went to West Virginia, then they would move to Chicago, and she was taking her final test for, what do you call it when you get your final test for your teachers?
Your final.
For your master's degree.
Okay, who was that?
That was Josephine. That was Grandpa's grandchild.
Okay.
And so she wrote from the seed to the cigarette, all the way, and step by step, because she's good at that. So the principal, whoever checked the paper,
the teacher, the professor,
he says, you copied that. It's too true. She said, I didn't copy it, I lived it.
Oh, okay.
So she lived it, just like I can see all of it. The seeds, the things coming up, and you pull them up, and you got to be so careful.
So when you pulled it up, you planted it into another ground.
Yeah.
And then it grew up. How tall were these leaves? How big were they?
Some of them were up tall as my father.
Oh, wow.
The stork. And the leaves are off from the stork.
Okay.
You pull the leaves off the stork.
Oh, okay. So
And the first start at the bottom. Then you go back and get them in the middle. Then the top.
Okay, so it's a layer. They're like almost layered.
I showed you Papa in his picture in Mr. Clark.
Okay, well, I have to go back and look at that.
I showed it to you. It's right there in that little brown book.
Okay, we'll have to show that picture. Hold on. Okay, this is a picture of your father in the tobacco field. Now, what were you saying about the leaves?
And you see the leaves, you can see down at the ground. You start off cutting leaves at the ground.
Show it to me.
You take them off. You break them off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first load. Then the second time, the other up, you take that. It's 3 times you go back to that one stork. Did you see his leg was on a stork?
Yeah.
Now that's his tobacco field. That's how long they go. This is his friend, Mr. Clark. He's looking at his field. This is
Wait a minute, let me look a picture. Let me get closer to Mr. Clark. So that field is where the tobacco was growing.
That's right.
Okay.
And
now this is who? This is Grandpa
Fulton.
That's your mother's father.
That's right.
This is the gentleman that lost everything.
So did my father.
So did your father. Now the woman is his second wife because his first wife died. His first wife was Mary, right?
And the mother of 10. I think it was 10 children.
Mother of 10. Now, Miss Ida is his second wife. So we'll stop the camera. And so this is your father's father. This over here is your actual father. Let me get it closer. Okay, that's your father in his tobacco field.
Yes.
That's Neal Sawyer.
And my grandfather sold him the land.
Okay, so your grandfather, this is the grandfather, sold Neal. That's his son-in-law.
Yeah.
How many acres?
I think Papa about 8.
Okay, so we've established how your grandfather lost the land because of depression, and you said shortly after that he died. But let's go back to the twining. You said that you think that's why your sister Mary and you could do hair so well, because you're so used to
With 5 fingers.
with your fingers, yeah, because of the twining that y'all did back in the country. So when they were twining, you said there was food on. You said they had food while y'all was having like a party. What else did they have that was fun? Watermelon parties?
Well, they just like they bring in a sled of green leaves. They have the watermelon on the sled. Long one. Then if they didn't have a knife, they'd take him, heat it and burst it, and everybody was eating watermelon.
Oh.
And then they called the water boy. They'd be thirsty. Bring the water. You'd be drinking the water, and the watermelon would be so good. We have watermelon, cantaloupe. And sometimes they have peaches, but y'all had to just take and burst them open. And people just be passing on the road. We was on the highway, you been on the road. Mm-hmm. They'd stop by and talk, and they'd help out. They'd help do things. Mm-hmm. And that was just a harvest time, not just gathering things.
How about what time of the year was that?
It was in September.
Oh, it's September.
Yeah. And it was just that was when you was gathering, twining and all that, and selling your tobacco. And everybody's getting ready to go to school and putting the fruit and stuff up, you know.
How long did the twining process, from once you put it in the ground as the seed, you burnt the ground, you did the smoke, and how long did it take for you to get it from the seed to the store?
That whole year.
Oh, so it took from September to September.
No, they start in June 5th, like I told about the plant bed.
Okay, that was...
Burn that's they burnt the seed.
That was June. Mm-hmm. So you said they burnt the seed.
Plant bed. So they burnt the brush all the way.
Okay.
And they call it the bed.
Okay,
bed.
so they burnt the plant bed.
And then they put this thing like cheesecloth over it after they put the seeds. Keep the birds from eating the seeds.
So when they burnt the stuff on top of it, did they rake it off or they left it?
They rake it. They put the left ashes.
Oh, okay.
That's what the one the rich.
Okay.
Then they would plant the seeds. Okay. Then they put this plant bed over it like you see we live where you could look all over. You see farmers with there's a plant bed to see it. There's a plant because they had that white cheesecloth keep the birds from eating the seed. Then you pull that back. You pull the plants up.
Oh, gotcha.
Then you replant them in the field where you got the rows. It's in rows with fertilizer and all that. If it didn't rain, then you have a planter. A man have a thing hold it like this. Somebody come and fill it full of water, just like 2 gallons of water. You I can see it now. You hold one man holding it. You holding the plants. You take the plant, you put it in the chute, and then he put mash it, and then he put the water and teach it, and that plants it if this land is too dry. Now that's hard. There's 3 people for one plant, and you go to the bottom land is about 2 acres, as far as you can see, just one row behind it.
So you were saying that if the land was dry, somebody had to do something. The planter had to kind of dig
by hand. No?
Oh, by hand.
It's like when you stick this.
Oh, it's made a hole.
Yeah.
Okay. He dug.
See, they ain't got the row made, but the fertilizer and everything in it. Mm-hmm. Now you buy the row.
Right.
Then you take this thing like a drill. You see, it's about that size, a driller. Okay. And you hold it, and he's on it. The water's in it, and he squirt the water. Oh. Put the plant down, piece it up, take 1 foot, just a foot apart, and the person that's on the other side, he throws the plant in the planter, because the planter can't do it. So they got a man with a basket of leaves, throw it in there, up, and then hot sun.
Okay, so let me get an understanding.
Okay.
You got 3 people. You have a planter who takes this drill-like thing to dig the hole.
Get the hole, you don't dig it.
Okay, so he takes this drill-like thing, and what does he do?
The roll is already fixed.
I already got that. The roll is fixed. He has the drill. What does he do with the drill?
He takes it and puts it down the ground.
That's what
the end of it is sharp.
Okay, so he puts it...
Sticks it in the ground.
Okay, so he sticks it in the ground. Then you have another man that comes with the plant. He puts the plant in the hole. Okay, so then you have another person that has the water. Okay, so what does... Okay, now we have the plant in this hole. What does the next person do?
You got the plant in the hole.
Right, got it in the hole.
Now he's got to squirt the water, put the plant the same ones. He done put the hole.
Okay.
You put the plant in.
Okay.
He squirts the water, picks it up, because the hole is planted. The flower goes 1 step, and the other man.
Okay. Just slow down.
He's only 2.
It's okay. Slow down. I'm just trying to get clarity because you're not clear right to me. Okay, so we got the man that puts the sharp hole. We got the guy with the plant. We got the water that's shooting. The guy with the plant shoots the water in the hole with the plant. Because you said something about something being pulled up. That's what's confusing me.
The plant, the thing that he's got.
Oh.
Just like this.
Okay.
Like this. Okay, here it is.
Okay, put it up here.
He's holding it like this.
Put it on the table so I can see.
Okay. He's holding it like this.
Okay.
And it's about the size of the vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
Now, the man is on this side.
Okay.
He throws the leaf down in the hole.
Okay.
Now, that's for the tobacco hole. And there's another thing on the side, got water.
Okay.
He squirts it.
Okay.
Now he pulls it up.
Okay.
Meshes up. The leaf is planted. He goes.
Oh, okay. I got it. So that
1 foot.
1 foot to plant the next one. Okay, so when he's pulling up, he's planting at the same time. He's squirting and planting.
He done opened it up
and
so leave the leaf in there. Because you can't break them.
Oh, okay. So he actually. So I wanted to. So it's just like the stem of that leaf that he's planting. I'm surprised. So then that has to take root in order.
Yeah.
Okay. So that takes root to grow. Okay. So you were saying how you guys had a good time doing that. All right. So I'm gonna just move to George Fulton's wife. Her name was Mary, and you didn't know her last name. What is it about her that you remember?
Well, I remember my grandmother. She was I thought, a beautiful woman of stature and everything. She wore long dresses and long aprons and a shawl. She would like have a shawl on her. And I would follow her because my mother had passed on. And we lived close together, and we were there all the time. She'd sit down and she'd take like me, a whole pan of bread, cornbread, and she'd crumble it up in the lap and to feed her little chickens, little bitty chickens. And then she would wash all the things, but the chickens would drink water out of her, and she put clear water in it. And then she had a barrel, a wooden barrel, where she put the ashes from where you take up ashes you put in this barrel.
Where would you get the ashes from when y'all burnt the land?
In the house.
In the house.
Take up ashes from the fireplace.
Oh.
Take up ashes from the stove.
Okay.
Then she put the ashes in this barrel. Then she put up water. Water would, if it rained, no water would go in there. She would pour water in there. And in the bottom, around the bottom of the barrel, it was up from the ground up here. And the water would drip through, and it would be red. It was pure lye. The little chicken knew not to eat, drank it. That's how she would make her soap out of pure lye. And everybody would have barrels like that. They didn't have to buy lye to make the soap. And then I would see her cooking for all these hands. Now she had 7 girls, I think, and 4 boys.
Her and George had
grandpa
had 7. Okay.
Now she had a field full of people working. They're not farmers, they working. And then she cooks for all of them, and they come in 12 o'clock to eat.
Right.
Now they got coal stoves, so wooden stoves. Now they done eat, and now she done did all of this. Then they gone. Now she go wash the dishes and get things ready for the next day. She's always busy, and I would follow her, and she would walk. She wouldn't go to the toilet. She would stand, whatever she do, and I'd keep water going down. And I said, "What is she doing?" And she'd holding her dress up a little bit in the front. I guess she didn't have on no underclothes. So I tried it, and I was wet all over. So anyway, she was a great woman, I thought.
Oh,
Good.
wow. And she was, you don't know her slave owner's name, do you? She was, what was...
They was from Bannertown. She's a banner.
She's a banner, okay. And you don't know when they got married. Did they meet in slavery, or did they meet after they...
I don't know. All I know, they were married.
Okay.
They were married, but I don't know how they got together. But both of them was from Mount Airy, North Carolina.
Okay.
On the farm, out from Manor. And they always said Surrey County, and then Surrey County. And
do you know her? What was their children's name? Do you need to take a break?
children's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what was her children? You want to take a break for a minute?
No.
Okay, what's her children's name?
Now, my mother was the oldest of all of them.
Okay.
Her name was Emma.
Okay.
Then Maddie. Then Cora. Then Carrie. Then Maggie. And Lily. That's it. That's how many girls.
That's all of them, I believe.
Uncle Vince, Early, and Willie.
That was their children.
And Weldon.
Weldon. Okay, that was their children. Wow. Now, let me ask you one other thing, and then we'll conclude for today. Thank you. You've been so great in talking. You talked about the lye soap. Okay, so you said she had this barrel of water. She had the ashes from the stove she put in the barrel first. Then she poured the water in, and at the bottom, the water would drip out the barrel, and that was nothing but lye. What would she do with that? What did she use that for?
To make soap.
Oh, to make soap. Did you ever see her make the soap?
I know how to make it, huh?
How did she make
They
it?
have a big iron pot, wash pot outside. And they put like meat, raw meat in there.
Raw meat. What kind of meat? Pork?
Raw fat meat, all I remember.
Okay, raw fat meat.
And then she put the lye in there.
Okay,
and
so she scraped all that from up under that barrel. She used the stuff that fell underneath the barrel.
That's the lye.
Okay, and she put that in the barrel with
water. But she's cooking.
Okay.
And you let it cook some. And after they cook so long, I don't know how long, they cut, take it raw. Then they put it on the board after it get cool.
Okay.
And then some people, you cut it just like bar soap.
Oh, okay.
Some people, they didn't know how to do it. You just cut it.
They dipped it out.
Dip it to wash. But my stepmother could make it, you could take a bath with her lye soap.
Oh, okay.
She would wash her hair with that. Her hair was so straight, I guess, and just turning brown.
Right.
We didn't know it was straightening.
Oh, right. So.
But that was my grandmother. And then I remember seeing her in this big rocking chair. Uncle Vince, he was grown. He bought 2 rocking chairs. They had a long porch. They had a house that was white, trimmed in blue. And she sat on the porch. She had heart trouble. And her legs were swelled so big. That was in the summer. And she couldn't do nothing. Just sit out there in that chair. And the doctor would come out and pierce her leg. And then to let clear water, but it was blood, I guess, it would run out of her leg. That's how they get her legs down. And that's how I remember that it always happened. Seemed like in the summer, after she got, all the children were grown. I was little. And I said, well, she can't breathe. She can't breathe. She can't breathe laying down. She had to sit in these chairs. And every time I see this place where they get chairs and barrels, I think about my grandmother.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel.
That's your favorite restaurant.
And so
one of them.
when she died, that's the thing. My cousin came. She was living with my grandpa with the land, and that Ma had died.
They called her Ma.
Ma instead of mother, they said Ma.
Okay.
And grandpa, they called him Pa.
Pa.
Instead of Papa or whatever, they said Pa and Ma.
So Ma died first, or did Grandpa die first?
Ma.
Ma died
So
first.
grandpa remarried again years later.
Okay. So that's who we saw, Miss Ida.
Yeah, Miss Ida.
Miss Ida. And what did you think about Miss Ida?
I love Miss Ida. I thought she's the most glamorous woman I'd ever seen. Because grandpa called her Nancy Needle.
Nancy Needle. Why did she call her Nancy Needle?
I don't know. And just like when Knee High Pop first came out, and they had that picture, Knee High Pop. And I think it's something about Nancy Needle. I'm not for sure. But he says, I'm going to marry Nancy Needle. And I said, Grandma, when you going to marry Nancy Needle? I want to see Nancy Needle. And so when he went to Martinsville, and that's who he married, Nancy Needle, he said. And then she came with all of her friends. She said her love seat. She wore her hair with a hairnet. She wore lipstick. She wore wear her dresses down to her ankle like my other grandmother. And she knew how to cook so good. She made the best cooked cakes and things. And then I would just follow her. And then,
You followed her. You followed her just like you followed your grandma.
my other grandmother.
So you said there was some years after she died that he married Miss Ida.
That what?
You said there was some years that went past before he married Miss Ida?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, because I was little when my grandmother died.
Okay.
And I guess I was about, when Grandpa died, like, maybe 10 years later he married Miss Ida.
Okay.
And then we had a afflicted aunt whom Miss Ida really came in and taken over. Just made a new person out of her.
Out of
My aunt.
Which aunt was that? Which aunt was that?
That was my aunt that was next to my mother. Her name was Cora.
Cora. She got sick.
And when they were younger, she and her brother was going up this hill to kill some birds.
Okay.
And the rifle went off he had on his shoulder. Shot her in the middle of the head. And the bullet, Grandpa he was so particular about his kids. He don't want nobody to experiment on, especially white folks, to touch her. He didn't let them take the bullet out. Now she grew up. She didn't have. She had one daughter. She's a beautiful girl. Then she.
Did you know her name?
Her daughter's name Nanny.
Nanny. Okay.
And then she had later on in years. She and my mother, Mary and Nanny, was born the same time, the same year. And when my mother would go to town, Mary would say over to Grandpa, and she would nurse Nanny's mother. Then this Nanny's mother had to go somewhere the same way. Okay. That's why they were so close.
Right.
Now that was Ron's grandmother.
That's Ron Dobson's grandmother.
Dobson's grandmother.
Nanny.
Now, that's what I was talking about.
You were talking about when your grandfather married Nancy.
Miss Ida.
Right. Okay.
And so then later on in life,
But wait a minute.
my aunt had a stroke.
Which aunt? Oh, that was Cora.
Okay. And she couldn't do nothing for herself.
Okay.
But walk on one foot and go get food, go back and sit down. She'd take a chair in her foot, and how she'd do it, I don't know. But she couldn't wash her own self up and comb her hair, and that she had to depend on somebody else. But when Miss Ida moved in, she'd taken her shoes and things off, washed her hair, washed everything. And she said, Grandpa moved in his other house, a smaller house. And so my aunt said, oh, we must be in town or something. She felt so good. And she wouldn't gym to talk to nobody. And Grandpa had all of her teeth, had the dentist to come out to the house and pull her teeth when they pulled his teeth. They don't know if she needed her teeth pulled or not.
Talking about Cora.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So she didn't have no teeth.
Oh, wow.
And Miss Ida kept her clean, it was just a different person. And then later on, my aunt did pass. And then I don't know what happened. My grandfather and my Miss Ida couldn't make it. So he let her take her things she bought there, and his son carried her back to Martinsville. They never got a divorce, but they was always apart. No more.
So they never had children.
They were so old.
Oh, they were old. Okay. Did she have any children before?
She had Grady and Percy, and she had 2 daughters, Miss Viola, and I forget her. She had one son who was a minister. Her son, the baby boy, Percy, he went into the white race. We never saw him no more. He was so white and everything. He went to New York after he stayed there for a while. And I don't know if he living today, but he was white. That was a baby boy.
That's interesting.
Because I didn't see her no more I had got grown. And she said, "Oh, y'all come closer to me so I can see you." And she said, and her son Brady, he's the one who carried us this meeting. And he said, "What beautiful women." He said, "I got to come back to my area to see if I can see them." But we hadn't seen, last time I saw him, I was just a little girl. And then I was living in Chicago and went back home to one of the Footwatch and Sacrament, a primitive Baptist, where people would meet and have food and everything. And I got to see Miss Ida one more time.
Oh, wow.
I love that woman.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up today.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll start on Monday. We'll talk about your other grandparents, and then we'll take it from there. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed day.
I can see all of that. I can see all them people down there at Blackjack. That's where
What's Blackjack?
That's the name of the place where the meeting was at Summit Island.
What kind of meeting was it? A church meeting?
Church. They had dinners and people had food on wagons and cakes and things. And
so it was like a church social.
Yeah, it was just like at Ceylon, the second Sunday in June in Ceylon Church. People from everywhere, from all the primitives, people would come and bring the food. The ones that lived so far, they wouldn't bring. They would eat with people that lived near. Then maybe the next month, another primitive Baptist would have it. Then these people would go.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't wait. We'd dress up. We'd get new shoes, new clothes, new dresses, new hats, food. My stomach had everything.
So how long did it last, though? Was it like a 2-day, like a Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday. That's it. And horses. People have horses and wagons. They had to bring the wagons. They didn't have no cars.
Oh, wow.
Just a few cars. When the cars that was there, the young people would walk around and sit on them. They wouldn't have to ask. And just get in people's car and sit, because they're all out in the field. And my brother-in-law came down there he went to get in his car. And so he told his wife, he said, "My car's full of people. What's wrong?" She said,
okay, so you're talking about Uncle Milton.
Yeah.
Got in. So he drove a car down there. His
wife.
His wife is married.
Yeah.
Okay, so he got in. He said there was a lot of people in his car.
Yeah, he said, "People in my car. Why are they in my car?" She said, "That's what people do. They're friendly. They're just sitting there resting." He said, "Get him out, because I want to get in my car. I want to go." He didn't know what to do.
Oh, wow.
And one man, he had a nice car. He'd always be sitting in his own car.
Yeah.
But people that they'd want to get in. He said, "Well, you can sit in." They sat in the back seat just resting. And then Clara Raleigh was at one of the churches one time. So she was sitting in the front seat of this car. And I guess moved her foot some kind of way. The car started moving. Boy, they had to run and catch the car or something. It was terrible.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was going to say, okay, we already talked about how why your grandfather died. Now, that was the grandfather that we said that when the white folks came, But when some of his ancestors would die, they would come and pick him up to bring him to the funeral. We talked about that, right? That's the same grandfather. Okay. All right. I won't keep you now. You keep on talking. I'm going to keep this camera going.
Huh.
Are you finished now?
I guess so.
Okay. Bye-bye. You're talking about Cora, the one that became ill, the daughter that you said that a lot of the family didn't care for her properly. That's why you were so happy when Miss Ida came, because she came in and she took care of her. So now you were talking about her body when she died. What about it?
When she died, I know everybody was walking. Miss Ida was asking, have she passed? And Miss Ida said, no, because she's still swallowing. But she couldn't talk no way. And when she died,
she's swallowing. Okay.
Naturally, the undertaker came, but my grandfather would not let him take her to the undertaking parlor. He was that particular with her. They embalmed her there at the house. Whatever they taken out of, they carried and put it in the toilet. Then they dressed him, put in a casket there at the house. He didn't let nobody take her away from there. And I looked and saw she had on this beautiful white blouse. Her hair was combed beautiful. They're like a different person. And her mouth was shut. She wasn't slobbering. You know, whatever the undertaker did. And she was in this, looked like a black casket with a white blouse and a black skirt.
When you said she was slobbering, when Miss Ida came, how did Miss Ida stop her from the slobbering?
She didn't. Because she didn't have no teeth. She wasn't able to have.
So she probably had a stroke.
She did.
Okay. She had a stroke, so she couldn't use her hand.
After she had the child, long time after she had a child, she did. And that's when, not the bully didn't. Maybe the bully caused it years later.
Yeah.
But she had the stroke. That's why she couldn't do nothing. Because before that, they said she was very neat. She kept everything clean. She didn't let no dirt get in no chicken water or nothing. That's when I said, that's why her mind, I think, would come and go. Because she couldn't do for herself.
Yeah. And this situation really affected my mother. She gets upset when she talks about it because she didn't understand why the relatives, before Miss Ida came.
They wasn't able because everybody worked in the field. And then Nellie was pregnant all the time, the whole time. Then her mother died. As long as her mother was living, she was well taken care of. Her mother died. My uncle and they moved in with Grandpa. And Uncle Vince had them and how many children? Then it's Pearl, Carl, Hazel, Lloyd, and Josephine. And there's 6 children. Then there was Grace and Nanny. That was Nanny's, Cora's daughter, Nanny, and then Minnie's daughter, Grace. Grandpa raised them. They didn't have no fathers. And they all look like white folks.
What happened to their father? Oh, they were white men?
We don't know. I don't know who they were.
Oh.
And I never knew. But I knew Grace's father. They think was white, but I don't know. I believe they raped my aunt. But they had her when she was a young girl. And because Uncle Bill said he used to sleep with when she was pregnant with Grace. So the Grace was born in 1913. Nanny was born in 1909. That's Cora's. I never knew who she was. Just like when she came here, was in the hospital. She never talked much. Nanny said, the doctors were saying, what nationality did they say? We don't know. But they didn't ask her, so she didn't tell them. They don't know if she's white, gypsy, or what.
Talking about Nanny.
Nanny, that's Cora's daughter. So Cora's daughter had, there was Irish, and that other child that died, and there was another son, and Pete, and Jerry, and Ron, and
Charlotte,
and
Nathaniel.
The one they men them raised. Looked like twins. That was Nanny had 9 children. That's Cora's 9 grandchildren.
Cora had 9 grandchildren.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I just wanted to...
And you see, when Nanny married, Cora was still living.
Oh. Okay.
And so I remember seeing her leave when they asked Grandpa for Nanny. So Miss Ida must have been there then, because Nanny was, when her mother died, she came back home, to the funeral, because Nanny moved to Winston.
Okay. So, all right.
So I don't know how that was.
Well, Miss Ida was a godsend. She was there for that reason. She was there.
Right.
She was there.
I said, Mother's prayers was answered.
I wonder how. Oh, but that was about 10 years. How long do you think how long do you think Cora was sick by herself when she didn't have no help? How long was that? Because you said when Ma died, he married Ida 10 years later.
I said, I think.
Okay, you think. So I wonder how long was it that Cora was sick with no help?
She had to have help to feed her.
I know. Okay, but how long do you think she...
how long was did her mother die after that?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, she didn't suffer long. You seem like just that little time that she went through some stuff.
She didn't suffer. She was neglected.
She was neglected.
They fed her. They clothed her. Grandpa didn't let nobody like the, just like I said, the dentists to come out there. Undertakers to come, the doctor, anything. He ain't gonna let nobody experiment on her.
Is that the same grandfather that...
George Foot from the slaves.
I know, but it wasn't that the one you said that he didn't want his daughters marrying dark men?
Yeah.
And all of them married dark men.
And the ones that didn't, well, they were just like Cora and Aunt Minnie. I don't know who those kids were. Grace was white with that hair coming down here.
Right.
Nanny looked like a gypsy. So I wonder who raped Cora.
Right. Both times.
One time. John had one child.
Oh. But you said Grace.
Grace, and then Aunt Minnie had Grace.
Oh.
And Cora had Nanny.
Gotcha.
And they were raised just like sisters.
Right. And don't know who their father was.
Don't know. Now, Murr said, I was listening to Murr. She said, Grace said she wished she knew who her father was. And Carrie said, why didn't she ask me? I know it was old so-and-so, some old white man down there. So I said, I believe Grandpa must have been gone, but they always say somebody was together.
Yeah.
But how many got that baby, I don't know. Because she's a young girl, pretty girl.
Okay.
Because, she must have been awful young. Her baby brother, Uncle Bill, said he used to sleep with her when she was pregnant with Grace.
Well, they could just be sleep with her because he liked sleeping with his sister. Back then.
That's what I mean. She must have been awful young. They must have probably just said, your brother sleep with you, Because they had upstairs and downstairs. Because the boys always slept upstairs in that room. The girls on this side, there's 2 bedrooms upstairs. Bedroom downstairs, the kitchen and living room.
We're going to end with this, but I want you to tell me about what was your mattress made out of. Remember, you always talked about how they would fix the mattress?
Straw.
Out of straw.
Straw. Just like we had wheat, we raised wheat and rye. And wheat make bread,
Yeah.
And you had that stack pole, and we put that in a mattress like you would have a mattress, and you'd empty. After they get so you'd empty them, wash them, and fill them up, and the bed would be so high you couldn't wait to get in the bed, But I wasn't thinking about bugs and nothing like that might be in there.
Apparently, wasn't no bugs because you never.
The outside, the straw was outside in the stack.
Well, okay, but when you stuck it in the mattress, it had to be sold or something because the stuff didn't come out. So how are the bugs gonna get out?
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's dead in there, I guess.
Right.
And the ants.
Right.
Because this is in the field. And then the horses and things, they eat from that, you know.
Right, right.
They take that. Because we raised flour, everything except sugar and black pepper.
You're talking about now. Neal Sawyer and Emma raised everything except.
Grandma Paul levels.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just the tobacco.
We about salt once a year. That's where you kill the hogs.
Okay.
And like they'd buy 100 pounds of salt. What was left, you put in the salt shakers, and you had to go all the year. Then in the fall, the thresh machine would come to get
the threshing machine.
White folks would have this machine.
Okay.
And they would stay, thresh out your wheat, and then you take your wheat grain to the mill, and you have flour.
Right.
But they would stay overnight, all day, all night, and the next day, and they let them sleep in the living room, fix big dinners for them, chicken and all that stuff, and then they'd get like a third of whatever the flour. But when they treating them nice,
right?
And I think it'd be like maybe 4 white men. And then they finally stopped coming through. Then Papa and them stopped raising wheat.
Oh.
Then we had to buy flour. But I remember when they used to come, and during the slavery time, the sheriff and it would be hot and stuff would be getting on. And said this poor slave was in the sheriff's property. This stuff was sticky. He probably was sick. He had to be sick, and he died. And he just buried him and just kept on working. I said, that was tough.
Tough times. All right, I'm gonna end for this time. We're gonna really end.
Yeah.
All right. See you.
We got a lot of stuff.
We got a lot of stuff covered. All right. This is a picture of my mother's grandfather, George Fulton, who we are talking about today. And this is a picture of her mother, Emma. She married my grandfather, Neal Sawyer. She died when my mother was about 18 months old. She died of a flu. There was a flu epidemic going on. And this is her sister, Maddie. And a very proud man. Okay, so today is October the 16th, 2017, and we're just gonna finish talking more about, family history. So today we're gonna talk about your other grandparents on your father's side. Yeah. That's George Mack Sawyer and Mary Jane Carter. Mm-hmm. So talk about George Mack. What do you know about George Mack?
Well, all I remember, they would tell me about him. When he was just a child, he was out playing like a little kid. I guess out in the front of wherever. And it was a lot of water. He said you see a lot of water. And then he was stolen, I guess, and brought to the United States. Then he was on a plantation called the Carters. And after that, he met my...
Well, first of all, tell me, what do you remember, what did he look like?
Oh, he looked like a West Indian.
A West Indian?
A
Hindu?
Hindu Indian.
Okay. Describe.
The ones that wears the star and the one that has that worships the cow.
Wow. Okay.
So maybe that's what he was playing around, the cow and the water. And anyway, he don't remember nothing about his parents. So all of that was taken away. Probably when he's coming over this way, just probably threw him on a boat. Right. And the people that stole him were, poor white folks. So they sold him for nothing. And
what did he look like?
He looked just like a very handsome, tall, brown skin with black straight hair. Oh. That's all I never saw him.
Never saw him.
In person, I was told, and I saw his picture.
Do you know? Okay, so he didn't know his parents, so you don't know his parents. Okay, so he was sold to a slave owner by the last name of Carter.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Mary Jane. So when did he meet Mary Jane?
Oh, well, that family lived in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay.
And before the Civil War, they moved to Airy, Virginia. So on holidays, they tell me the slaves could mix with other slaves. So that's how she met my grandfather. They was all at a gathering, and she met him. And then the next year she met him. So they got engaged, and the two slave owners discussed it and let them get married. But he kept his slave, and they kept her. Then the next year, she had a son, and they called him Levi. Well, the Carters could have kept the son, but the Sawyers wouldn't let them keep because that Mary Jane was their blood, and she had the child. So I guess they split the money. I don't know how they did that, but there was a boy. It was a boy. So the Sawyers kept Uncle Levi.
And what did Mary Jane look like?
Oh, they said she was beautiful. She was, she was a white person.
How do you be a black-white person?
She was white.
Okay.
With brown chestnut hair and blue eyes. Take it from there. What do you think? But
I think her father was probably white and her mother was black.
I don't know. But that's true. I don't know who her mother was.
Right.
I don't know who her father was.
Right.
She probably didn't know either. She probably knew.
Her father was the slave master.
I don't know.
Yeah, for her to have blue eyes and red hair.
Well, he had children.
He had children. She was probably one of the children.
And probably he had neighbors. So somebody could have raped her.
True. That's true.
But they said she was their blood. So they knew she was in the family.
And right, she never was sold.
She never was sold. And she was never put in the field. They tell me she was just in a house, like a house slave.
Okay.
And,
so they had Levi in slavery. And then they moved, after slavery, they stayed in North Carolina.
No.
Where did they go?
Virginia. They still stayed in Virginia.
Okay, they stayed in Virginia. Okay, and so how did they get money to get a house?
That's what I wondered. I wondered, did the Sawyers give them 4 acres of land and 2 mules? I just wondered.
Okay.
I never heard that discussed. But that's what it's supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. But my uncle grew up. He got a job working. He must have worked at Flat Rock.
You're talking about their son Levi, yeah.
Uncle Levi bought 75 acres of land in Airy, Virginia.
Okay.
Served Airy, Virginia. Airy, Virginia. The Hollow, Virginia. Airy, Virginia. Now they changed the name.
They changed the name. It was the Hollow.
It was the Hollow in Patrick County.
Okay.
They always wanted to know the county.
Right.
So it was Patrick County. So when he grew up, he bought this land. He gave it the deed and everything to my grandparents. He goes to Mount Airy to catch the train leaving the South. Everyone who carried him saw the sign that says Pittsburgh. They couldn't read and write or nothing. So they went back. He said, where'd he go? So all we know is it says Pittsburgh. Somebody told him that. The man's house, Pittsburgh, so and so and so and so. Pennsylvania, I mean, not Pittsburgh. Pennsylvania is the state of, that's the state. So we don't know if you're into Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, or wherever he went. He didn't come back. They never saw him no more.
Wow. He never even told
Never.
He never even told his parents he was leaving?
Never. They knew he was leaving.
Oh, okay. He told us. I'm finna say he just got on the train and left, but he never came back.
Never, because he couldn't read and write. But he could write. Could have come back, look like.
Oh.
But they said they never saw him anymore.
Wow.
So I said, I wanted to go there and get a job in one of the coal mines.
Right.
You know, because they have other coal, like in Finneyville and Cannonsburg. That's a coal mine town.
So, how many children did they have?
Well, Mary Jane and my grandfather had, I think it's him.
Name them.
Aunt Jenny, Aunt Charity, Aunt Cora, and Aunt Nancy.
Aunt Nancy.
And Uncle Mac, Papa, Uncle Levi, and Uncle Si. I mean,
Uncle Levi and Uncle Si. I didn't count them. I was just listening. I was just listening to you. I didn't count them.
you wasn't counting them?
No, I wasn't counting, but I wasn't counting.
I think it was 4, and Aunt Jenny, and Charity, and Nancy,
Nancy.
and Aunt Cora. That's
Okay.
4.
4 girls.
Uncle Matt, Uncle Levi, Uncle Si, and Papa. That's 4 boys.
8 kids.
It's 8 on the
8 kids. Okay. So, is there any good stories
Well,
about
her daughter, Nancy, she taught school.
Okay.
And then her son, Neal, which was my father, he bought a farm in North Carolina.
Okay.
And Uncle Si, and I don't, they didn't say what they did. And, but I know Aunt Nancy taught school in North Carolina, they said. That was their daughter.
Okay. What about any funny stories about Mary Jane? Was she a mean lady?
My sister Mary always said our grandmother was so mean. And I said, what you mean mean? So well, she always taken to Georgia, and then she wouldn't take nothing off her. Nobody, when they'd go shopping, they'd kill, just like the beef. They didn't have refrigerators or nothing. So they would kill things the same day they'd kill it, they'd set it.
Okay.
So that's when she'd go to town to get her beef and stuff. She wouldn't let nobody wait on her, they said, except this one man that I think they said was a Jew. And so if anybody, she said, I don't want you, I don't want you, I want the Jew, I want the Jew, I want the Jew. So she's probably Creole or whatever you call it in there. And then my sister said she would be in the wagon and going back with these white people on the way between her home and Mount Airy on the highway. They all knew each other. Would give her money to stop at the wholesale place and get a barrel of candy.
Okay.
Well, that was going that store to sell up in Virginia. So my grandmother would take some pliers and open it and get to give her grandchildren some. So she said, now you go find my white child, and then I'll give you some.
That's what she told Aunt Mary.
And my sister said she would go running everywhere looking for my brother George. And she'd find him. Then she'd give them a whole handful of candy piece and close the thing back up and go on back up in Virginia. And then when she had heart trouble. And everybody sitting around talking, I don't know how they do. And my brother had a fan that was made out of turkey wings.
Turkey wings?
Wings, they said chicken wing
Oh, yeah.
fan.
Okay.
And so he was just sitting there fanning it because it was so hot. And so somebody looked over and said, stop fanning, Miss, they called her aunt, they said Mrs. She's dead. She was dead and they didn't know it. She died that easy. But her husband had died years earlier. I don't know how early. But he was laying out there in the sun on the chicken coop where they put chicken in the clean. And so he got up and he says, I'm kind of tired. I think I'll go in and lay down. And they said, okay, go ahead on in. And so he went on in and lay down on the bed, and they went in, he was dead.
Oh, wow.
They all had heart trouble.
Oh, they all had heart trouble.
They said he could never eat. He didn't like fresh meat. He didn't like fresh pork because they'd always give the slave dog, like this year's, next year's, last year's pork. It'd be skippers in it or something.
You call them skippers. What are they? What are
worms.
skippers?
They tell me they cut that part off the way the meat would be yellow like meat. So old it would be yellow.
Wow.
And that's what and he'd eat that. And I've seen people use the same meat to cook with, but it would just be yellow. It wouldn't be no worm, but it'd be old. But it would make the greens and things taste much better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
old it would be, to me it would be just like beef.
Right.
Steak. Older it is, the better it is because it makes it more tender. Well, I don't know.
Okay, so basically, they just had lived on the farm. What did they grow? What type
Oh,
of?
they grew tobacco.
Oh, they grew tobacco also.
That's how they made the money, but they grew tobacco and they had a cherry orchard
Oh, okay.
and they had corn, wheat, and rye. And they didn't have to buy too many things, you know. And my grandmother smoked. They said she never let us, she smoked a pipe. And she said she never let it go out. She smoked all the time. And Papa said he'd use fire coals to light it sometimes. He'd go out, she'd get it. And she said, bring me a fire coal. That he'd go run and get one and drop it on the toe. Sometimes just the kid head, I'll get you, Neal. And he got tickled one. But she said that'll get it burner, you know.
Yeah.
But he said you can go get it.
That's something that Grandpa Neal wasn't light. You know, Grandpa wasn't light. He took his complexion off of his father.
He brown.
Brown.
He looked just like a Hindu.
Right. Okay, you want to take a little break?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the story about your aunt, Jenny. That's your father's sister. Tell me about her.
Well, and Jenny, she always stayed on the farm, stayed near her mother and father. I guess they all had this log cabin together, the upstairs, downstairs, and the kitchen part was built off from the house. That was so, they had upstairs and downstairs, and then this whole thing run out, and then a big kitchen was built.
On the outside?
And on the outside, so they cooked. The older one be in the house.
Wow.
And they had, so Aunt Jenny, after she got grown and everything, well, she married this white man that lived in Virginia.
I wonder how did they meet?
I don't know.
What's his name?
Reynolds, Champ Reynolds.
Champ Reynolds. So she marries a white man.
Real white man, because I asked my father, was he white or was he just white skin?
Right.
He said, no, he belonged to a white race.
Wow.
They had one son, Cousin Champ, and that's all I mean. Cousin Champ's name was Champ Reynolds.
And they had a son named Champ?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then he dies. I don't know how long after. He had heart trouble.
The husband?
Her husband.
Okay.
And she would work, and she didn't much want him to work too hard out in the sun and all. And said people would talk about it, say, oh, you just working, working, that man ain't doing nothing. She said, he's got heart trouble, he's sick. Well, Aunt Jenny would go to, she'd always go to Presbyterian church that lived right down by their house. It was white.
Okay.
But
wasn't she light skinned?
Brown, just like all of us.
Oh, she was brown.
Brown skin with long hair. All of them had long black hair. One of them could settle my hair.
Oh, wow.
And they said he died. Now his people came there. They didn't know none of his people, I don't guess. His people came and got his body and carried him away. And I just learned that in recent years. He's not buried in the Sawyer's family plot.
Cemetery.
We have a cemetery, private cemetery. It's registered and it's legal. But he wasn't buried. So they said they didn't want him to be buried in no nigger cemetery.
Well, you said that she was. Oh, you was talking about her church. So she went to a Presbyterian church. Did he go to a church, or he didn't go to a church?
I don't know about that. All I know, my aunt went to Presbyterian church.
Okay.
And the black church was up at Crossroads, which is the Baptist.
Okay.
She said she didn't like that hollering, screaming, patting, and all. And so when Aunt Jenny died, the people at Presbyterian, the preacher, said she could have, she was welcome to have her funeral at that church. And they didn't. They had it up at the black church.
Your mother did. Was her grandmother? Was her mother Mary Jane living when she died?
No, I was living.
Oh, you?
I went home from here. I was grown.
Oh, okay.
And all of us went home to the funeral.
Okay.
And they told us, please don't try to cry, not too loud. Try to hold it back on the account of her son, Cousin Champ.
Oh.
And that's so as soon as the music and stuff started, Cousin Champ said, cough, and And Mayor and George got up just like that and got him on his arm, carried him out of that church.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I wonder how they got, and so he could breathe, you know.
Oh.
So we held it because they know we were so crazy about Aunt Jenny. She would tell us stories, and we'd go up there. Oh, I just loved her. She's just like I don't know, just a storybook. And we said, hey, Jenny, let's take a picture. She'd sit down, throw her leg up on the porch, and she chewed tobacco. I don't forget if she smoked or not, but she was beautiful and funny.
Oh, okay. Do you remember any story she told you? Not one story?
Not a one, because me and her, I was born 1916, Claire was born 1917. But I was grown until I came here, and we all went back to George too, to Aunt Jenny's funeral. And she was still living up there working hard. She wouldn't let her son work, and her son either much. She and Cousin Laura did the working. She could plow. She did, they'd go selling stuff every day in Mount Airy, North Carolina, every morning.
Who was they?
Aunt Jenny and Cousin Laura, that's Cousin Champ's wife. Cousin Champ was Aunt Jenny's son, and they would peddle. She'd sell chickens, onions, anything on the farm, cherries and everything. But they go to Mount Airy, North Carolina, every morning, sell, and be back home by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock and sell fresh food.
Oh, wow. How long did that take? Was that a long ride? They were in horse and buggy, because they were in horse and buggy.
No, Cousin Champ was driving Ford.
Oh, he was?
Because the Ford gas was about like 13 cents a gallon.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I used to stand there and wait for him to come by up at the mailboxes when I was little. I don't know who would carry me up there, be waiting with me, and take up to his house and stay all night with the kids and stay maybe on the weekends, I don't know, and come back, you know. And they had a bed.
When you said stay up there with the kids, whose kids?
Aunt Jenny's grandchildren.
Oh, who was that?
That was her son's children.
Who are they? Who are the grandchildren?
Her son's children.
Who are they? What's their name?
Oh, there's Claire, Lily Mae, Louise, and Mamie, Nora, and one son, Burden. That was Aunt Jenny's grandchildren.
Oh.
She loved them children. And her granddaughter's, she's a school teacher. All of them were very smart. And they raised tobacco. And they had the 75 acres of land up there, really. And neither did I.
Okay, sorry about that interruption. My phone got the ringing. Okay, so you said they would peddle food and
It's peddlers. Just like Aunt Jenny and my father had 25 acres after my grandparents passed. 25 acres went to my father. 25 acres went to Aunt Jenny. 25 went to Uncle Mac. We did not use the land because we used the land in North Carolina.
Oh.
Uncle Mac didn't use it because he didn't farm. So all the land was Aunt Jenny if she wanted. And they used whatever they wanted. And we had a cherry orchard.
Okay, 1 second. What about the cherry orchard?
I said the cherry orchard, when the cherries would come in, the Black Hawk cherries, that's what they call them. Sweet, oh Lord. And Papa would only use one tree, and Jim would let nobody touch that tree. And we'd go up there and stay all day. Papa would drive a wagon. We have a number 3 tub, that's a big tub. We come back, that tub would be full of cherries. And we'd be the Aunt Cousin Irby, I made cherry cobbler, and we'd have a good time, the kids would. And the others had to climb the tree to pick the cherries. Then the next day, me and Minnie have to go in the basement and seed the cherries, because Cora wouldn't candy cherries unless they were seeded.
Oh.
But then we'd get a handful of seeds and squeeze them, and Nikki would be just like juice, cherry juice, you know. And I know a girl, she was working, she came by, and she said, "What are y'all doing?" "We seeding cherries." She'd help us, and then she'd go head on home. But we had plenty.
You said she only had one cherry tree?
That's the only one she would save for us, all the one we needed.
Oh, so the other one,
they sell and Uncle Mac them, they didn't want no own gas.
Oh.
And the other people.
Did she live far from your dad?
She lived in Virginia. We lived in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So that's a little way.
7 miles from Virginia line, and they lived up in. But you got 14 miles up in Virginia. And you can see the dirt. Our dirt was brown.
Okay.
So when you get to Virginia, the land was just red.
Oh yeah.
You know, you was in Virginia. You knew I'd have to tell you.
Oh.
Then we gone up in Virginia, and they stayed up there. And Burton still got to Virginia, the same land.
When does he have the same cherry tree?
The cherry that he didn't replant.
You have to tell me about how your father. That's why I just thought about something. Not to change the subject. Explain how your father would do the trees so he could get different apples, Tell me how they did that.
That was my grandparents' son. You know, they were slaves, and Papa was one of their sons.
Right.
He was a grafter.
Your father?
My father was a grafter.
That's okay.
Plus being a farmer.
Okay.
And he's also a tie maker and a cane, a molasses maker, you know. And he was, so I don't know how he learned that, but you know, the people here get money doing that.
Grafting.
But he would I used to see him, he'd take a limb, like a limb off of a fall apple tree. I say a fall apple tree.
Okay.
And then he'd take a limb off of a June apple tree. And he'd split it. He'd stick that down in there.
So he'll take one stick and put the other stick in the groove.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he would put some kind of wax all around there. And that would connect and grow.
So did he plant that once he connected it? Did he put it in the ground?
No, in the tree. In the limb. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, in the actual limb. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
And so on our way, out of our backyard, went to the outhouse. So we'd go out, be a green apple. The water would be on there. You didn't have to watch out because there'd be so much dew. And you just wipe it off. Then in the fall, no June apples, fall apples.
Oh, no,
Then you gather them, put them in the barn, keep them to Christmas.
So maybe on one side of the tree was June apples, and the other side of the tree was fall.
The limb that he put in there would be June apples.
Oh, just that one limb.
That one tree, one limb. How many limbs he put in? That's how many limbs that have trees.
So where did he get the limb from? He had to have another tree.
He did, a June apple.
Oh, so he had another tree. Okay. So why was he doing that when he already had a June tree and a fall tree? Why did he want to slice that?
It was just something he did, and he would plant trees for people. He had a green thumb, as they call it.
Oh. Okay.
I guess he don't have that many trees on his farm.
Okay.
And like that, you just one tree would
produce
two
types of apples.
Mm-hmm.
So you call them fall apples and June apples.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Then we had grape hoppers. We had grapes. We had blue grapes and pink grapes and white grapes.
Pink grapes. I never seen a pink.
You seen them light grapes y'all buy?
Well, the ones I buy are kind of a lighter purple. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a lot of people call them real dark grapes. What they call them?
Like a black looking grape.
We grew up. They were sweet. We had them.
So how did they grow?
On a vine.
Okay. Okay. And then you also had strawberry patch.
Oh yeah. That was almost, I guess, a plot. It was much for us, and he had to rent in them's house, and it's wide as that street.
Oh wow, that was a lot.
And strawberries would be big as your thumb. Some of them. I didn't like them. I liked the small ones, the sweetest, but the big ones, people. My sister would go pick up her like a gallon before breakfast, so she'd take it down and sell it. Because people had grocery stores, would buy things, and because they'd sell it to people that lived in town because they want fresh things.
Okay.
And she would do that. She was
She always selling
making
something.
money.
Yeah, Mary Haynes now.
Uh-huh.
Well, now we've talked about both grandparents. Now let's talk about your parents, Emma and Neal.
Ah,
So Emma was the daughter of Mary and George Fulton.
right.
And Neal was the son of George Mack and Mary Jane.
Uh-huh.
And with this union of Emma, and tell me about Emma.
But with this union, 4 children was born. George met Mary, Oriana, Minnie Lee, and Alma.
You the only one that didn't have a middle name?
I didn't have no middle name.
You were the last one.
But when I was little, I named myself. I said Alma Virginia, Emma, Jenny, Murray. I liked all of them names. And then by the next one, I said, my name Alma Virginia, Emma, Jenny, Murray.
Alma, Virginia, Emma, Jenny, Mildred.
And that's what I call myself. So when I sent for my birth certificate in North Carolina, I put my parents' name and everything, and my name, Alma Virginia Sawyer. They sent me my birth certificate and they said, only Alma Sawyer, no middle name.
So you couldn't even stick it in there.
So I don't know if many of them had it, or they just picked that up.
Or they just...
So we just called Minnie Lee. I don't know where we got that Lee from.
Okay.
And Mary, she always said she was Indian. Papa said she was a and she always would marry Oriana. You know the story, Oriana.
Right. So your mother died in about...
In 1918.
1918, around November. So tell me about what happened around that time.
Well, at that time it was an epidemic of flu. And the war had just ended. So
World War One. It was World War One.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And so Woodrow Wilson was the president.
Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a Democrat president. And anyway, my mother went to wash clothes for my aunt, which was her sister, and both of them was married to brothers. She was married to Emma, to Neal, and then Lily was married to Uncle Matt. So when she's coming home, they had to have a trestle to get over the river. So she was on the river. She said she would leave around 3:30 because 5:30 the train would be coming.
Okay.
So while she's on the trestle, they tell me the whistle was blowing, the train whistle was blowing, the whistle that the flat rock that meant people off, car horns was going, and she almost panicked. But said she got off before finally got off across the river. Then she went around the corner, and that's the black neighbors. She said, "What's going on? What's going on?" The war was ended. She was so happy because she was worried that the next call would have been my father.
Okay.
Now she goes home. She's happy as she can be. That's in November.
Okay.
On a Friday. She taken sick that weekend with the flu. The next Friday she was a corpse. She had died. Now, Thanksgiving was the next weekend.
Right.
Now, they didn't have no hearse. They didn't have nobody to preach her funeral. Everybody was sick. They didn't have it. They said they'd better have her funeral later. They carried her body to the cemetery in one of these open trucks, with the delivery trucks on the back. They buried friends that wasn't sick. Came to just the burial, and they never had a funeral. So I was saying when I was a little girl, I was telling my friend, I said, they never had my mother's funeral.
You were telling your friend Nellie Sue?
Yeah.
Okay.
And her mother said, "Oh yes, honey." She said, They didn't have to have your mother's funeral. She preached her funeral that she lived. She lived a Christian life.
Oh, that's good.
And I was so happy, you know, because they said she was the mother of the church, and she'd always kept food and stuff to people that was sick. And she'd send my brother George and Mary to me some. Mary Martin's mother, she was sick from the time Mary was born until Mary was born the year after me. Her mother never got out of the bed or worked until I went to Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Which was in 1933, and I was born in 1916, and Mary Martin was in 1917, and she carries her mother to Baltimore, Maryland. Well,
she was sick all that time.
I never saw that woman walk. Sit on the porch. She never combed her daughter's hair, nothing. And her husband was a minister. He told her, what Mary said, oh, one day my mama would walk. My father said she got the shot, and he said, the spirit told him. And I said, what in the world is wrong? And a lot of people say he had a white liver, and what that is, I don't know. After he died, she got well.
Wow.
She could lay on her back. My stepmother said she could lay on her back and look around like that. Now my mother sent fruit and stuff to the house, greens, apples, cherries. Now my stepmother's there. My mother, then she'd go visit.
Oh, wow.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, you had said that your uncle Wentz lived next door, not far from your mother and father, and he looked outside.
He stayed with my grandfather at that time.
He stayed with your grandfather, and he looked outside the window and saw your mother's bedclothes hanging on.
He had just got up from having the flu.
Okay.
And he went out. He went out to get some air. And said he looked over there and he said, why they hanging the clothes out? And at this time, and his mother said, Emma just passed. That's your sister. And so he almost passed. He relapsed.
Oh.
And they thought that he's going to die. Because he had just had the flu, you know.
Yeah. Because Emma was one of the favorite sisters. She was the oldest.
She was the favorite daughter and sister and the oldest of 14 ever for the children.
Did we ever name all those children?
I don't think so.
Well, name her. Can you name her sisters?
No, let's see. That was this mama was Emma. First, it's Emma, Cora, Maddie, Maggie, Carrie, Maggie, Lily. How many is that?
6.
Okay, then Willie, Early, and Wentz, and Weldon.
That's 9.
That's it. Weldon wasn't grandpa's.
Oh, okay.
Well, she had him. She married grandpa.
Oh, okay. That's not 14 though.
That's the 8.
Yeah. Okay. 8. Okay. So, all right. So we got Emma. So tell me about Neal. What about your father? You want everybody to know about? I know you was crazy about your daddy.
Yep. Yeah, my father was. He worked in the coal mines. That was before I was born. I'm glad it was, because I was been scared to death. Then they bought land from my grandfather. They farmed. They raised corn, wheat, rye, and tobacco was the main thing they would sell in the fall. He had peach trees, he had apple trees, pears, and grape hopper, and they had everything. And my mother and father, they were so in love. Yeah. And when my mother died just a week before Thanksgiving, they left him with 4 little children. One was, Mary was 9, George was 10, Minnie was 5, and I was a year and 8 months. They had paid off, didn't have they paid for the mortgage, everything, the land, and had $500 left. And she was getting ready to send Mary to a boarding school.
I wonder why did she want to send her to a boarding school?
Well, everybody talked about education. She wanted to send her to a better school than the one they had. Just like they maybe hire her to teach.
Okay.
But but she was going to send her to a real school out of Mount Airy into another suburbs where they had real teachers that had went to college.
Oh.
So that's where she's going to send Mary at 9. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Boy.
That is something. And so, of course, she dies. And
then my mother lived right close to us. And I imagine when she would cook, she'd cook enough for us.
You said your mother's mother, Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Papa could cook too. Papa, they say he makes some good gravy.
That's probably why you like gravy so much.
Maybe so. And whenever they would get sick and everything, he would cook. So I said maybe he knew how to cook different things. And then my grandmother would have a pot of beans. She'd put a pot of beans on first, a pot of so-and-so. And then when they give her to eat, they'd go get it because it's right there. And so I used to wonder why my aunt didn't die instead of my mother.
Right.
And then my mother would always send her sister a barrel of food just before Thanksgiving.
Talking about Carrie?
And Carrie. And so she sent hams and apples and sweet potatoes and things she had off the garden. And said she got the barrel the day after Mother had passed.
Wow. I'm going to put this on hold.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about Emma and Neal and how much they were in love, and she died suddenly of this flu epidemic. And
they said my father could be farming, be plowing.
Yeah.
And you see Mama going wherever he would be plowing with a little bucket of cold water, and then he'd plow to the end, and she sat at the end of the road waiting for him. And he just stopped the horse and he'd drink the water, take his hair off. And when they sit and talk for a while, then she'd come on and cook whatever she gonna do.
Yeah.
I said, that was something,
It was. That's so sad to
and
me.
they said, too, my mother was crazy about my grandfather. And said she'd always got to go to the house, see Grandpa. He said, Papa was sitting there, he says, well, I guess your mama looked to your grandpa, she ain't here. He said, she had hid under the bed and said she come rolling out and said, she laughed about and said, good gracious alive. She said, I said, that's where I got to hiding, I guess, from I don't know. But I said, she wanted to see what Papa was going to say. And see, Papa wasn't that, done got dark, Yeah, I guess your mama still with your grandpa. And said, every time Grandpa's birthday, she'd always fix him a big dinner, big chicken and everything. And after Mama had died, years after I got her, but Grandpa was saying that ain't Neal and Emma. He's too old to kind of stay by himself.
Okay.
And he always go up there and eat. He knew when his birthday was. And you have setting hens and then hens, chicken, So Grandpa had killed one of them setting hens, and he wanted her to fix it for his birthday. So they just said, oh my goodness. So she did,
So what kind of, it was a setting hen. What does a setting hen do?
They trained them to hatch chickens. Some hens will get set on a nest so long, and they didn't know that hen wants to hatch some chickens. And then you put the eggs under there, and she'll stay on them for I forget how many weeks.
Wow.
But she'll just get off to get water to eat and go and sit back on the nest. So early Joyce, he wanted a chicken, raise some chickens. They said he put these eggs in the nest and put the chicken sat on there for a day. She got off. So he caught that chicken, put the chicken back on the eggs, put a chicken hoop over her to smack it. He said she standing up. She said she wouldn't be able to be on. So he killed that chicken. Everybody said Earl ain't got no setting hens yet. But that was so funny. He's so glad that he had a setting hen. That hen fooled him.
He wasn't no setting hen.
And I said, then she was standing up on the eggs.
Oh my God! So they had the setting hen, and what other kind of hen?
Huh?
So they had the setting hen, and what other hen? It was two kind of hens.
Oh yeah, just really. Any hen can just like you walk around want to be a hen, want to be a mother. That's why they called it a setting hen.
Oh, so those ones.
That was just a word. That word, just like a rooster or something.
Oh, okay.
See, some hens ain't no mother. They ain't, because the one Cora had some chicken, and we had dominant chickens. They're a little dark.
Hold 1 second. Cora said what?
We had a little bitty chicken. They call them Wheaties, little Wheaties.
Okay.
And so one little chicken was light, little yellow chicken.
Okay.
And this old hen, she said, click, click. And she's scratching the dirt, and the little chicken be looking. She'd peck at a little chicken, and little chicken run away. And so I said, why is that chicken? He ain't doing nothing to the chicken. She knew that wasn't her chicken. She didn't think because it was a different color.
Oh, okay.
So then Cora had to take the little chicken and feed it separate because that hen, she's going to kill it.
Oh.
She don't take chicken with her chicken.
I wonder where was his mother at? Wonder what happened to
No,
him.
they ate that.
Oh, because it was a different color. Oh, got it. I got it. I'm with you.
Where did my watch go?
Sound like somebody that's prejudiced. Okay.
But anyway,
don't worry about that.
I am. So I said that showed a mother know her children. Mm-hmm. Just like Jesus know. That's what they say. The shepherd know his sheep.
Right. That's right.
And so that chicken, that's a hen, that's something. And if a hen grows, that gets you a yard full of chickens, A hen up and crow, she's dead because I'm going to kill that chicken because then one chicken's a witch. We had wanted to do that. Cora kids killed. We weren't eating them. Cora had to eat that chicken. Cora eat anything.
Wait a minute, so you're saying if you got a yard full of chickens and somebody... What?
We have chickens. Go outside. Chickens are going to come around and think you're going to feed them.
Okay.
Chickens, and then one of those chickens crow.
Right.
You hear a chicken crow, you look, and you see it's not a rooster. It's a hen. You say, oh, that hen and crow, that's bad luck.
Oh.
And then you're going to catch that hen and kill it. And some people want to eat it, bury it or something. Of course, I ain't going to bury the chicken. I'm going to cook that chicken. And I know this minister came by, he lived in Virginia. And she had this chicken, she must have boiled it. She didn't fry it, she must have baked it or something. And he said, you got chicken in the weekdays, in the day. She explained to him why we had chicken wasn't on Sunday.
Okay.
And the kids won't eat it, and my husband won't eat it. He said, Lord, if my kids had it, they would be thinking about no chicken crowing, they'd be eating that chicken. And we wouldn't eat them. No, Lordy.
So how long after your mother died did he marry Cora?
3 years.
And didn't your mother know Cora?
Oh yeah, my stepmother was young, much younger I think than my mother, because she used to sew a lot. And they said my mother used to get her to make things for her when they didn't live. She lived on a sharecropping farm called their place. It wasn't a farm. And that's Papa Dem's, the Wilsons had run to this. And Papa Dem was one of their cows and things. And Cora house was right there. And Miss Taylor had left Cora in charge of Wayman, Sherman. Well, Marilyn Sherman she had with her. And Wayman and Layman and Bertha and her and Will, I think. They brought them from Virginia in this house. They must have been in the house or something. I don't know why they were down there.
Right.
But it was close to town.
Okay.
And that's where Papa them made Cora.
Oh.
And they said Mama would have Cora to make her thing. They knew each other. And that's why Cora and my mother's mother were very close, I think.
Cora and your mother's, okay.
And they all liked my stepmother.
Oh. You know, one thing I forgot to talk about with your mother was the furniture in her house. Tell me about her furniture in her house.
When she got a new houses built. Then she bought, they said, it's a love seat now you call it. They call it a lounge.
Okay.
It was a maroon. She had that. She had one of these fancy big rocking chairs. And lived in a great big fancy bedroom.
Okay.
And a heater that was trimmed in chrome. And a rug on the floor that's oriental pattern.
Okay.
Then she had this picture trimmed in gold with a picture of that man carrying. I got the picture now.
Right, the picture on the front. I'll show you.
And they said she had all of that, and she'd keep that door locked until she'd have company or something like that. But she kept that door locked to keep the cats out, the dogs out, or the kids out.
Right.
And then her sisters, a lot of times would buy new things. Their cats and things didn't work over to their house. They'd bring them over to Mama's house and she'd keep them.
Right.
And one day they left a new hat on the bed. And it had prunes and they had cherries and all that around as a band.
Okay.
So Minnie, that's my sister, and Grace, which is a Minnie's daughter, crawled through the window, saw the hat, and they thought that was fruit. Mm-hmm. And they tell me they were sucking all to see if it was sweet. And they came out, the mouth was all red, and they were saying, "Where y'all been?" They found out they had been trying to eat the cherries off Aunt Minnie's hat.
Well, what was that? What was that safe you was telling me about that? That they would keep the meat in. Your mother would keep the meat in. It was some type of safe.
It was just like that cabinet. It was a cabinet, but we called it a safe.
Oh.
And the white lady, she didn't buy that. She bought the table.
So after your mother died, a white woman, but also your mother had some china. Remember what kind of, you told me?
Yeah, crystal. That's what dishes is china. But they call that china.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where did she get all that from? Where did she buy all this from?
Oh, that was from the Fulton, which my mother got married. They gave her all of this.
So this was the slave owners gave that to your mother?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I knew.
But that wasn't the slave owners' offspring.
Offsprings.
The slave owners dead and buried.
Oh, right. So they did the slave.
When I was 1 year when those slave owners.
Okay. So the slave owners' offsprings.
So they lived on Main Street. That's where we used to go to town, come back by the house, and Miss Aunt Frank, their cook, would make us sandwiches or something. We'd get water, we'd get whatever, and then we'd come home. And the fairground would come. We'd always sit in their yard. We wouldn't have to stand outside and look at the parade and things.
That's, to me, it's so surprising that...
That was from the Fulton side.
Right, that was George Fulton and Mary... What was Mary's last name?
Fulton.
Mary Fulton.
Banner.
Banner. To me, that's something that the slave owners that had them as slaves, their descendants, taking care of y'all. You know what I mean? You know, got your mother the dishes when she got married and all of that, letting you all stay in their backyard while the parade was going on. You know,
no, we didn't stay in no backyard. We out in the front.
Oh, y'all was in the front?
Yeah, that wasn't nothing going on.
I didn't mean the backyard. I mean, like, in their front yard.
We was on the main street.
Okay.
That's where the big house. We sitting out looking at the parade.
Wow, I just think that's something because I would think that they wouldn't want y'all to be around.
Oh no, they wanted to show off. I think their parents is exes.
Oh.
They're so crazy about Grandpa.
Oh,
he could get anything in that town without paying until he wanted to.
Right. You said that the white guy, the white owners was saying, if he wanted credit, give it to him.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. He was very popular. He was a very popular man back
That's
then.
right.
Very popular.
They had a big write-up in the Mount Airy Times paper about him.
Oh, yeah? After he passed or before he passed?
Before he passed.
What was it about?
They interviewed him.
Oh.
They came out. I got the man in there, and the man was telling me about she's out on the farm, and saw the possum dog laying at that and all.
I got to see that article. I want to see that. That needs to be framed.
It should be something in there before it get tore up.
Right. I'll give you one little break.
I guess, Cora.
Right after your father married Cora.
3 years later, they said.
Okay.
So Mama died in 1920, 1921. My sister, Dorothy, was born.
Okay.
So that's the year they must have got married. I don't remember that.
Okay.
But before that, Geneva and Henry Lewis, which was twins, must have been born in 20.
Oh, okay.
The little boy was born dead. They had midwives. The little girl lived to be 6 months old.
Oh, wow.
They buried the little boy. My cousin had a chest, and they fixed that and put a pillow in it and everything, put the little boy in there. I wanted the little boy to play with. I thought it was a little toy, I guess.
Okay.
And they said, no, they can't. And I was crying to the little boy, like a little dog. Now, I remember that.
Okay.
And then when they had the doctor, I think, with Geneva, she would have lived. She had, Cora's milk was too rich because the other twins had the same thing, but they had a doctor and they lived. Then when Dorothy was born, I don't remember. She was born after they were.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I guess I must have been about, if I was a year and 7, 4, 5, I must have been about 5 years old, I guess. And then when Dorothy was born, she was born in October 1921.
Okay.
So she must have been born right behind the twins.
Right.
See, the twins died, she was born, both of them probably was born the same month. I mean, the same year. But I don't remember it. I don't.
So then I think Dorothy, then came Aunt Vera. No, was it Algie?
Vera was born right after Dorothy.
So
and I remember that because she had a little thing on her little finger.
Okay.
And my stepmother told me, go get the scissors. And I crawled up on the bed, I remember, to give her the scissors. And she cut that little thing off. It bled just a little, like a little bristle, been a little finger.
Okay.
And that's all I remember about Vera.
Okay.
But I remember Minnie getting in the cradle. We had a cradle. It had splits on the side. Her feet went through that side. Mine was on this side, and the baby was in the center. We was in the hall. Cora was there cooking, whatever. We was looking after the baby. Now, which baby that was, I don't know. It could have been Vera.
Then after Vera was born was Algie. Oh, I'm sorry.
We was rocking. You know, the cradle rocks.
Okay.
Minnie's foot would hit the side of the wall. He was in the hall. Then my feet would hit on the south side. Poor little babies in there rolling. We hit bang, bang. That's what brought Cora to the hall. What y'all doing? Now that's what I remember about the second baby.
Okay.
The third, it must have been Dorothy. And then Vera. Then later years, Cora had another baby died on me. I think he was born dead. And Coach Alma and Lucy. The two little girls was born dead.
Another set of twins? Oh, okay.
Henry Lewis and Geneva was first. They were twins.
Okay.
They died. And then these two died.
Okay.
Then the LG, he lived. Like I was 10 years old then.
Okay.
Then
Algie was your baby, right?
LG was born in 1926. Then 26. 28, I think, my brother Levi was born. He got killed in the World War. Korean War.
Okay.
And then in 1930, she had more twin sisters, Aaron and Adrian. They're the babies.
Okay. And today, everyone's deceased except you and Aunt Adrian.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's
So my sister always wanted to be the last. Someone said that, so she said she wanted to be the last one because she was the last one born.
Okay.
So she was really the last one of her mother's 10 children.
Right.
I'm the last one of my mother's 4th children.
That's right.
So both of us are babies.
Right.
So she can have, I can leave her here, it's all right, because I would hate to see her buried. And she probably would be glad to be the last one living, because that's her wish.
Oh, yeah.
My wish is that I'll make it in. All I want to do is hold his hand, let him be with Jesus.
That's all.
Because I love Jesus. Jesus know I love him. And take my hand and lead me on to the promised land. Because that's for his, the other things are just all right, but I don't want no closed casket. I know it might be not sad, but I want an open casket, so I can't stand closed-in things.
Well, Mama, if when you're dead, you won't know if it's closed,
but I'm telling
open.
you now, I don't want no closed casket.
Yeah, I got you on the tape. We got it, Dad. We got it. Now, let me talk about, okay, so we talked about, I want to talk about Aunt Cora a little bit, because you talked about how when she would go to town, somebody would call her Auntie.
Oh.
Tell me about that story.
Aunt. White people call all black women
Okay.
auntie.
Okay.
All men uncle.
All black men,
Yeah.
uncle.
And that's because they didn't want to say uncle or aunt. Mr. or Mrs.
Okay.
Now, one time Cora was in town, and our neighbors used to live there. They lived a long time right there. Now, I farm, that next to our farm, the Gravleys. And so she saw Muncie, that Miss Gravely's son, baby boy. He said, "Oh, Aunt Cora, how you doing?" She said, I didn't know I was your mother's sister. Papa said, "Oh, Cora, why you said, boy, I was glad to see you." She said, "I'm not a white woman's auntie." She was like that. She didn't take nothing after nobody either. She could sew, she could look at anything and make it. She crocheted, she could tit-tat, whatever you put that little stuff around the baby's neck. She could cook. If you got a splinter or something in your foot, look out, she don't get it. She take a razor and cut it and get that splinter out if you're so dead and you couldn't feel it.
Well, sometimes you and her kind of bumped heads. I mean, sometimes you and her kind of bumped heads. I know that time you said she was sitting on the porch. What happened? She was sitting on the porch and you and Aunt Minnie was coming in from the field, gonna get some lunch. Tell me about that.
Oh, I guess it was about, she must have been pregnant with, if I was 10 years old and 10, I must have been 12 years old. I didn't work in the field too much because I liked the hot sun, you know. So we were coming, me and her was coming.
You and Minnie.
And she was sitting out there on the porch, the hedges on that side, in the rocking chair, with her feet in the straight chair. And she looked so fat sitting up out there. So I told me, I said, "Look, sitting up here in that chair, fat and everything, eating sided dinner." Cora said, "I heard you, young lady. And when I catch you right here in the front yard, you're going to be doing something in the backyard." I said to myself, "Yeah, if you catch me." Then we had to go before we could eat. Minnie would have to make a fire in the stove and cook for the cook or warm. I said, "Awful." I don't know what I was doing, because I ain't never cooked. I guess wine and water came to the house. And then one time we was all sitting at the table eating. She jumps up from the table, runs outside and was throwing up. And I said, "I just look at her. She's too fat anyway. She eats too much." I said, "Just throwing up?" I didn't know the woman was pregnant.
Okay.
If I'd have known, I'd have been tickled to death. I'd been waiting for the baby. Because we thought we should have a baby every year, because the cow would come in first every year.
Oh, boy.
And we see her, and when Mr. Lou Hill, every one of them would come with her little set. You said, oh, we're going to get a baby.
Oh, my.
We didn't know this, the babies come out of a stump.
Oh, my gosh.
Pearl and Coy going to raise them up, baby. They found some beavers in the stump, and they did a bottle. And Uncle said, what y'all got these here, bugs in here? Said, oh, we're going to get a baby. We got them out of the stump.
Oh, so you thought the baby was going to come out of there. Oh, my God. Oh, my. So, what about that?
Uncle Minnie couldn't tell them where the babies come from. That was so stupid.
Well, what about the story you just telling me today about you and Minnie had this book, and you really wanted that book, and you had a calf.
Oh, when you ain't come along, I don't know who gave me, probably them sold it back. They probably give them a book to keep the book with a mirror, and I just loved that little book. And I said, Minnie, give me that book. And the day I had a little calf, they had given me that calf. But that, I think just the name of it said that that's your calf. Now you got to look after your calves, you have to water your calves, you got to do so. So, Minnie said, okay, you can have my book, I'll take the calf. I said, okay. Now we both still had to go get the calf, water the calf, do everything with the calf. But it was Minnie was the sole owner of the calf. I'm the sole owner of the book.
Oh.
And then one time, Cora was going to town. And she said, I come back home. If anybody tell me they've been fighting it, I'm going to whip them. So a lot of times me and Vera get into things, you know. So when Cora come back home, Edgy said, oh, Vera and Alma was fighting. I said, we wasn't fighting. We were just pushing each other back. We wasn't really fighting. She got the switch.
Uh-oh.
Because she promised she's going to whip us. I think she whipped Vera first. And when she hit me around my shoulder, and the end of the switch hit me on my face, wrapped around, and it was bleeding. So LG said, oh, Grandma, oh, Mama, Alma's face is bleeding. You gotta cut Alma on the face. And so she said, well, I was whipping at her butt, at her rump. I wasn't hitting at her face. I was hitting at her shoulders, her rump, that's what she said. I said, well, you must have thought my butt was awful high. And so I wouldn't even turn around and look. And so she said, turn around so I can see it. Turn around. And she said, that was just an accident. I said, yeah. So then I ended up saying to my cousin, Coy and Hazel, was coming from town. They'd been in town for something. And they stopped by and give me some candy or something. I don't know what it was. So she said, what's wrong with your face? And said, oh, Mama was whipping Alma and hit her in the face. She got right up and on. I said, uh-oh. Now I got uncles and my schoolmates and everybody going to be talking about my stepmother. I didn't want to do that.
Why not?
I love my stepmother. I didn't want nobody to say nothing bad about it. I wanted to do whatever. I wanted to push her, not that she knew I was doing it. So my uncle came from Chicago, my sister, because my grandpa, that was in 1933. My grandfather was dying. My grandpa and my aunt and my sister and my uncle got there that day. He died just before they could get up to the house.
Wow.
Then they saw the scar on my scratch on my face. My uncle said to Bill, if she touch me, why, he's in North Carolina. It would be me and his stepmother. I said, oh, Lord. Went to school, my friend Nellie Sue. Oh, she liked how to fit. She couldn't wait to go home and tell her mama. Everybody knew that Cora Sawyer had whipped her stepdaughter and cut her in the face. I said, but it was an accident. He said, ain't no accident. The stepmothers. I said, that's a good stepmother. That was an accident. Cora didn't give a shit what nobody said.
No.
She did her thing and left it alone. She could do anything. She could sew. everything. So just like when my mother's father would come by the house early in the morning, he would hit on the side of the wall. That's when my mother was living. He said, "Get up, it's time to get up, sun is up." After my stepmother married my father, my grandfather did the same thing. My stepmother said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Fulton, but this is Cora Sawyer's in here now, not Emma Fulton."
Oh.
Now, my mother had sisters and brothers, uncles, cousins. I didn't have to worry about nobody running over me.
Right, right.
So, cut it off.
Okay.
Some things I don't want to tell you. But Cora, when Cora go to West Virginia to visit with her mother and father, she'd take a train. At that time, you could take a train from Mount Airy and go from to different states. So Cora would take Dorothy and Vera. I wanted to go, but they wouldn't let me go.
I wonder why.
She come to visit her mother. She would look after I think that's my folks. But they lived in all of them. So then, I forgot what I was going to tell about that. Oh, one time she stayed 6 months. And so that's when she had LG, Dr. and Vera. And she going to stay. She didn't call herself leaving Papa because Papa was raising tobacco. She didn't want that. So what you going to raise? So Mr. Taylor asked his wife, said, "When's Cora going home? She's been out here a long time." She said, "Oh, she's not going back. She decided she would stay. She don't want to raise tobacco." He said, "If Neal raised broom straw, take them children and get back to..." And that's when she had to come back, because he didn't believe in divorces.
That was her father.
That was her father. So then she came back, then she had Levi.
But you didn't want her to come back. You was happy.
That time it didn't bother me. I was free as a bird, little. Then when she came back, then she wanted to go back later. That time, kept on, I wanted to go. And Aunt Lily tried to, "No, you don't want to go out there, and that boy might be fighting you and this and the other." But near Cora careless, Mr. Taylor broke his leg in the coal mine. He's up in the mine. So then there was 5 of us. We went straight to the hospital. Wheelchair was in the truck. So this lady saw us, and she told Bertha, said, "I saw your sister from North Carolina at the hospital with the 5 children." She said, "Must have not been my sister. She don't have no 5 children. She have 4. She wasn't telling me."
Right.
So then, because she knew they wouldn't let me go. But just having Papa let me go that time. And I guess we stayed a week or something until they stayed and went back. And I would have just dirty and the lights. When we were going down the mountain, down to Stokesbury, McAlpin was up on the southern mountain. Just lights, here that people's houses, different companies. And then we got down in the valley. We got down there was a road, the train track, and the river. And it was amazing. And I was on the front porch and leaned against the back, looking in the house. My stepmother said, "Ooh, your clothes are all black behind."
From
so
the
cold dust. In my home, everything was clear.
Right.
And I remember going back home. All I know, we went back.
But what about that?
After that, I asked my father. I says, "Papa, if Cora go to West Virginia and stay and leave the children, would you be sorry or sad?" He said, "Yeah, I wouldn't like it." I said, "Oh." I wanted Papa to say yes, so I guess I was going to try to do something to make her go.
What about that time when he had that 2-pull?
Oh, my goodness. He didn't tell me time to have a tooth pull. people don't go to that jail. They pull the teeth there. They have to supply somebody to pull your tooth. But Papa come back and his teeth, I guess the man had given us sleeping pills. Court put a padded on the floor so Papa could lay on. He rolling and groaning. Me and Dr. and Vera, we got on the floor. We were rolling and groaning with him, boy. We were crying. Papa couldn't sit down because his mouth was hurting so bad. I said, I know he was wishing we'd get on out of the house. But that was so sad.
Well, I'm going to give you...
And then one time...
Yes, I won't give you a break.
That was after I came to Chicago. The kids were going downtown to school. And everyone got hit by a car. And my brother LG, they was all little, kind of little. He had a bike. So he told my stepmother, get on the bike behind me. And I carried over to Frank Martin. That's about 3 blocks away. And Corey jumped on the bike. I knew that was a sight to see. But he carried him up to this white man's house, told him that boy had got, he said, get in the car. Then he carried that car on downtown. I said, he said, yeah, I carried Mom on the bike. But I was living here then.
Wow. And
everyone got I forgot whether his leg got broke or what, but they were going down to school. I don't know what was wrong with that school. Because Aaron and them was going downtown to school.
And he got hit by a car.
I don't know. He got hit by a car or something on his day playing and coming home.
So you don't remember really playing. The only person you really remember playing with was Aunt Minnie as a kid. You really didn't play a lot. You didn't play much with Aunt Mary or Uncle George because they were so much older.
I never played with Minnie much. Minnie had heart trouble. She didn't play much. Oh. I played most with Dorothy and Vera. Oh. They were my buddies. Oh. We played house together. We had our dolls together. But Minnie she'd cook or do something like that. Minnie never played much. I know. We played ball together. She wouldn't play. And I played with Pearl and Coy and Grace and Hazel and Lloyd. And Minnie and Grace were together a lot.
So tell me about Lloyd. You were saying that Lloyd had a baby and you had a baby.
Lloyd was my first cousin. And his little brother was the same age as my brother. So he had to look after him.
What's his
mother always...
What was his brother's name?
He's dead.
What's his brother's name?
Oh, his brother's name Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, okay.
And my brother's name LG. Right. Both of them were born in 1926. So both me and Lloyd was the same age, 10 years. Lloyd, Uncle Winston bought Lloyd a buggy push. Okay. And Rock and the girl locked over them rocks, so bump, 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 bump. And I would take LG, a lot of times his legs across my neck. And we'd walk and we'd get under the tree and sit down and rest and talk and everything. So that's how that went. And then when the twins was born, Dr. looked at the Aaron and Vera looked at the Adrian. Oh. And so it always be somebody to look after the kids so the mother could work. Oh, right. And then I left home. See, they were born in 30. I left home in 33. So that's the reason I never saw LG, Lincoln, Aaron, or Adrian go to school. Oh. But when I went to school, I was 6 years old. I asked Minnie, I can see myself now, I held her hand. We were going by Uncle Jones. We went to Shortway. And I said, Minnie, how old did you say I was? She said, 6 years old. 666. I said, 666. She said, now when we get to school, I can't be with you. I said, why? Because I'm in one room and you be in another room. You be in Miss Emma Jean Jessup's room. I said, Miss Emma Jean Jessup. And I'll be in Miss Hodson's room. And so I said, oh my God, to myself. Just so we get to school, I said, how old am I? He said, 6 years old.
Why was that so important to you?
Huh?
Why was that so important to you?
Because she said they was going to ask me how old I was.
Oh, okay.
So when they got there, Miss Emma Jean Jessup had this little short hair with something she had put on to make it look like waves, wave hair. And she had a basket drawn on the blackboard and everything. with Easter eggs in it. It was different colors. And I was sitting there. And she said, "What's your name?" "Alma Sawyer." "How old are you?" "6 years old." So I remember that just like it's tomorrow. And after that, I got used to it. And Mr. Clement, he was the meanest old principal. He was the principal, and Mr. Clement. That's when my uncle quit school. He was going to whip my uncle with a switch, you know. Because so that's when he quit. That's little Mindy's father.
Oh, his name was Early.
Huh?
His name was Early.
Early.
Yeah.
He quit. That's when he quit. He was in, I think, like the 8th grade.
I wonder what he was going to whip him for.
So, well, if you do anything, he whipped you. And then he didn't want us to play on the upper part of the land, ever for the boys. We played down there by the gully, by the little house. One time I was sitting on the ground. He looked down there, he saw me. And he come and he said, "What you doing sitting there?" I said, "I fell." I thought he was going to whip me. He said, "Don't be sitting on the ground because it's too wet." But you used to play down there, and the boys had all of this to play with.
Wow.
I remember that. Mr. Burney. But I don't forget his name. Burney, that's all I remember. Miss Imogene Jessup, Miss Hostel, and Miss Oakley.
But you had another teacher that you were crazy about.
Oh, Miss Geraldine Jones. That's when I got in the 4th grade.
Oh.
That's when I started learning how to read a little. And I loved history. And then we went to Professor Valentine. That was our last year in school. And he said the 8th grade was as much as the 9th grade here in Chicago or any other high school. We had history, we had civics, we had Latin, and we had algebra, and we had geography. I bought my civics book, I think it was my civics book back up here. They used the same thing at Lucy Flowers did down there.
Oh, when you got here.
Yeah, but we was in grammar school. That was high school here.
Right.
Just like he said, we had high school in the 8th grade down there.
Okay.
So that's like I was in the 11th grade when I came here, but it was in this, I mean, to the 10th grade, because, you know.
That's how they made
where
you.
it was.
Today we talked about some furnishings in Emma's home as Mom's mother. This is the picture that was on her wall then at the...
It was born around 1911. That's when the house was here.
1911, she said, when the house was built. Yeah, this is, I guess some of the descendants of the slave owners gave her this. This is a picture of Emma that's on Mom's wall. It's her mother. And this is a picture of Mom's mother's
Father and mother.
Father and mother. Now this is my mother's mother. This is Mary. Okay, Mary Fulton.
That's right.
That's Mary Fulton. All right.
Down.
She was Mary Banner before she married. She's on Mama's wall as well. Okay. Now I'm going to go to her husband. That is Mary Banner's husband, George Fulton. As my mother said, he's a mighty man. I see your sister, your mom is on this picture as well. That's your mother, and that's your mother's sister.
But, what are you talking about? Okay.
That's Maddie, Emma, and their father, George. Now, this is a picture of Cora. This is
My stepmother.
This is the stepmother that she's talking about, and that's her mother, Miss Taylor.
And I fixed the hair.
And Mom fixed their hair. Where were they going, Mom?
Huh?
Where were they going?
He was going to dinner, and I had that picture made.
They were going to dinner in Carey's on 47th Street, and she had
That's where the picture made.
Oh, had the picture made. Okay.
And we left Haynes Beauty Shop, 138 North Oakley Boulevard.
Their hair at a Mary's Beauty Shop?
Yes.
And where was that?
At 138 North Oakley Boulevard in Chicago, Illinois. We taken the Lake Street L to the Express and taking the Express to 47th Street and had the pictures made. Then we went from 47th Street back to 46th Street to Aunt Carrie's restaurant and had dinner.
And Carrie had a restaurant?
Aunt Carrie had a restaurant and also a drugstore.
Oh, wow.
And she had the restaurant was on 46th Street. Her 16 apartments was on South Park, which is Martin Luther King Drive now. 4558 South Parkway.
And Carrie was pretty good. She was
rich.
How did she get rich?
Working hard, she and Mr. Downer, spending no money, having no children, and helping out with other kids.
Oh,
She
wow.
sent my sister to school, my cousin to school, and they worked and they saved. She would even patch cigarette dish rags. She loved to patch. And dish towels, she would patch. If you got a hole in it, she would patch it. She loved patching.
Was she the only sister of your mother's that was rich? Was any other your mother's sisters?
Well, I don't know. Minnie could have been. I don't know if she had money to save the land.
Okay.
At St. Minnie Fulton. And then Aunt Maggie was married like my mother. She died at the age of 33 from childbirth. She had a little baby in her arms at the casket.
Oh, wow.
And my mother died at 33 because the flu.
The flu.
And Maddie didn't have any children. And Cora had one daughter, which was Nanny Fulton.
Okay.
And Aunt Minnie had one daughter, which was Grace Fulton.
Oh, okay.
But Aunt Minnie always had money. We always lived in West Virginia. So I don't know where she got her money from. And Carrie went to school. I don't know how she got it. She went to West Virginia State. She also taught school in North Carolina. Then she left there and went to Chicago, Illinois, and was a secretary for some big office. I don't know where that was. But they worked as servants in West Virginia. There was no, because women can't go in coal mines.
Right.
And so that must have been where she got her money to go to school. So Grandpa's kids went to school, just like Uncle Vincent's two one daughter and two sons were teachers. Mostly teachers. Grandpa taught school also. So he must have taught what he learned from the white folks.
That's you're talking about your mother's father. Okay.
And on my father's side, his sister was a teacher. People believed in pushing education to get up there. They said to get ahead. If you want to get ahead, you learn.
Right.
And that's what everybody believed in doing. Because my mother was getting my sister ready to go to boarding school at the age of 9.
Right.
But she passed on. So then my aunt, taking her when she was in high school, and she finished high school within 3 years.
And married it?
Yes.